hate the feeling when I think I've forgotten something and I don't know what it is, and I feel like I've forgotten something this morning. It's a bad feeling. It's like you forgot to do something and I don't know what it was. I feel really weird.
Yeah.
So hello, yes, we are live, and there go the notifications for the show. So great. Let's go ahead and refresh the Rumble sphere here. We'll see if that works. That is kind of weird, isn't it? Let's do it like that. Oh, that should be here. Okay, this. Let's move this. Can't click on that. That should be on the chat. There we go. Okay, great. And now we'll just fix this. Boom. Great. Okay. All right. We are live and notifications did go out, so I'm feeling very confident that we're doing good. Let's just take a look at everything else here really quick. Oh, okay. Okay, great. There goes the live. We've got some people populating. Great. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here. Just had an article in the Orlando Sentinel this morning that said that, over 60 people are dying every day in the state of Florida alone. So, Jimmy Dore comes out and says that it presents as a cold. Well, I want him to go explain to the families of the 60 people that are dying every day in the state of Florida, and you can make the phone calls, Jimmy, and you can explain to every single one of them why, for some reason, for them, it didn't present as a cold. And for you to keep using that terminology, using that statement over and over again, it presents as gold, presents, you say it enough times and you drill it on enough times that people miss that, you usually say, for most people presents as a cold. And you do say that to protect your ass. But you putting that information out there like the way you do en masse, and you keep saying it and you keep saying it and you keep saying it, you're responsible for people catching it and dying, Jimmy. How does that feel? That must make you feel great. You've got so much power that people will listen to you, take your advice, and then go and die over it. Wow, the ultimate compliment. Someone believed you so much that they died because they believed you. They were so loyal to you that they gave their life to prove to the world how much they believed your bullshit. You should be ashamed. No, you know what? You are a shame to the entire podcasting community, Jimmy. Just gonna call you out for what you are. You're a shameful, just a shell of a human. Not even. You're not even there. You don't deserve to be called human for what you do to your own audience, the people that support you more than anything. And you cause them pain and misery and death through your lies and your ego and your greed for whatever it is that you desire. Whether it's clicks, money, I don't care. It's obvious, Jimmy. It doesn't present as a cold to everybody. So stop using those words. It's killing people, man. I got a fist that presents as a cold, too. It'll give you the sniffles. I'm just so sick of the lies, man. I'm so sick of the misrepresentation, and I'm so sick of all the support that a liar gets for, resulting in deaths. And for some reason, hi, Holly, and for some reason, people flock to that guy, and they don't even hear the truth. Open up my Twitter feed and go see what Orlando Sentinel is saying about COVID killing people every day.
Some cold, huh?
Yeah, some cold until it gets you. Until it affects someone you love. Or until it murders your neighbor. Or whatever. And just to be treating... And you know what? Ron Placone's driving me crazy, too, because he's going all over the world promoting his shows, and he's going to go bring people out of their homes. Well, just, don't be 65 years or older, if you want to go catch a show, I guess. Don't have... every disease known to man that can tie into this and make it worse. For some reason, it seems like just about everything, if you suffer from anything, you don't want to catch COVID if you got that. Oh, no. You're diabetic. Oh, don't catch COVID. Oh, you got asthma. Oh, don't catch COVID. Oh, you got lung problems. Oh, you got COPD. Oh, don't catch COVID. That's a lot of people, Jimmy. It doesn't present as a cold to those people. Wear your masks, social distance, stay home and lock down yourselves as much as possible, and don't catch this thing, and don't tempt fate, guys. You're lucky you didn't have to be... Did you get KlLLED, Sean? I wonder how many people that get COVID get that KlLLED. They claim that 85% of people that use it have reduced symptoms.
Filter. It's a necklace.
Really? An air filter and a necklace? Huh. Does it go over your mouth?
I got 2 air purifiers in my 1-bedroom apartment.
I'm kind of confused. It's an air purifier. I mean, you wear it around your neck. So unless it covers your face, I don't see that purifying the air that your nose and your mouth are breathing in. Because that's coming from everywhere. It's not just coming from your neck area. So I'm kind of confused about, you got an air filter necklace. I just say this. I hope you didn't spend a lot of money on it, because it sounds like somebody just saw you coming from a mile away.
No, you wear it around your neck. Daniel Andresi.
You wear it around your neck.
And Jimmy?
Do you think that's protecting you somehow? Because there's no way it is. There's no way something you wear around your neck that doesn't filter the air that you breathe is helping you, Holly. I just want you... Unless it's a Jetsons helmet that goes over the thing you wear around your neck, right? And I'm sure it's not. You're not wearing a glass bubble over your head. There is no way something like that is going to do anything for you, except give you a false sense of security, lead you to go out and risk getting this thing worse.
No, it doesn't replace a mask. It's with a mask. Edwin Sparks.
Oh, okay. So they say, okay.
A Jetsons helmet, LOL.
They say wear the mask in addition to this, and it'll give you an added.
I drink a lot of Pedialyte.
Added filtration around your. Okay, yeah, but the mask is the #1 way to stop this from entering your body. You know, or slow it down. At least it slows it down, and that's the facts, man. It slows it down. Plenty of science out there proving that masks slow pandemics down.
Exactly.
Less air traveling between us, less transmission of diseases. I don't know why Republicans and people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and people like Jimmy Dore have such a problem with simple science of putting something over your face, how that reduces the air we're breathing in and out of our faces, how that doesn't help. But, you know, he also said, you know, he pat himself on the back because the country, you know, Sweden, I guess, didn't lock schools down, so their kids are smarter now because of it. And he's saying, oh, see, all the kids are smarter now over in Sweden, and all those poor kids lost their education in the United States because we're so dumb, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know what? You know, they can spend more time studying and make up for it. They can go to summer school like I did when I missed stuff too. It's no big deal. At least they're alive, and at least they didn't bring COVID home to their grandparents and kill them. Or, you know, maybe their parent that had asthma, or maybe their parent that was diabetic, or maybe a sibling that was diabetic or had asthma, or both. You know, or maybe an elderly person, you know, just walking by their home. You know, little kids spread diseases. Everyone goes up to a kid, oh, hey, what's up? You know, give me a hug. They're little spreaders of disease, man. And for Jimmy Dore to not take that into account and to act like the science behind it is bunk, I really, really feel bad for Jimmy Dore's audience members, man. The ones that watch him and believe him for everything he says. And, man, you know what I'm seeing a lot of now on the Jimmy Dore show right before they go live? Guess what? A lot of people saying, let's go. Oh, yeah, those people are there, too. All the let's go people, right? We talked about them. So it's interesting to see the audience that Jimmy Dore attracts these days with the fucking garbage that flies out of that man's mouth constantly now, you know?
Those surgical masks are dumb. The 3M is better. It seals the whole
right,
mouth and nose.
right.
N95 is the best.
Billy Bond, it has leaks on the side, but it still slows down the transmission of air coming in and out of your mouths. You know, it's not like it doesn't work at all, Billy Bond. It works. It's just, you're right, a one that fully covers you is going to be better. But, hey, man, you know, it's like you could be in a car that's got a 4-cylinder engine, and you could travel across the country, and you could get there, you know, maybe the car could do like 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, and you get there fine. Or you could be in a car with an 8-cylinder that do like 110 miles an hour, and you get there way faster and efficiently because there's more power behind it. But you're still going to get there in the smaller car. It's still going to do the job. It might not get it done as efficiently, right? But it's still going to work somewhat. And that's the same thing with masks and the full-on mask, you know, if you're going to, or locking down or whatever. I mean, yeah, it's not a silver bullet, but you know, it's a silver mixed with aluminum bullet. At least it's something instead of nothing. And it does slow down the transmission of our breath between each other. And for people like Jimmy Dore to just ignore really easy science to grasp, go watch the Ben Swan takedown from Thunderfoot. Anybody that wants to learn about masks and how they work and how it's very simple, it's just a silly little science thing. But yeah, of course they slow it down. And just to act like it's all the government wants to control you and have you wear a piece of plastic on your face.
Why do you think nurses wear them in ER rooms? Like, you know, people don't think.
Because they don't do anything, Jim, because masks don't do anything. That's why we want to kind of limit our vision and slow down the amount of air going to our oxygen while we're doing surgery. You know, because masks don't do anything. But we like to put them on, you know, just because it makes us look like we're on the movies or something, you know?
Yeah, fucking stupid, exactly, yeah.
All right, let me turn the volume up on the chat so you guys can shout over me because I know you want to.
Hollyhorn. What's the name? Ben Swan. Daniel Andressy. Jimmy, how you doing, brother?
Holly, I want to watch it with you. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. It's long, but I'm telling you, it's fantastic. It's a really good one. Okay, Thunderfoot. Ben Swan. Ben Swan busted.
He's great. Thunderfoot's great.
Now,
Hollyhorn.
the problem with playing this is Ben Swan puts out a lot of medical misinformation on my channel. I mean, on YouTube when he says this stuff. Now, of course, Ben Swan doesn't get in trouble for it, and Thunderfoot doesn't get in trouble for it, but I get in trouble for it. Putting out the same information, and I get accused of putting misinformation on the internet because I wanted to show that Thunderfoot debunked this guy. Drives me crazy. But I'm going to try to play for you as much as I can, and if I have to pause or skip over a little something that Ben's saying, because
Daniel
it is
Andressy.
Misinformation, then I will try to
Did
do
you
it
hear
to
about
protect
the
myself.
lawsuits going on with Steven Tyler from Aerosmith?
Something about sexual... Was it sexual...
Obviously.
Sex...
1970s.
being accused of
Drugs.
what was it? I can't remember. I thought I heard something about it, but I don't care. We're talking about something totally different, Daniel. Shut the fuck up.
I'm Ben
God,
Swan,
you're an idiot.
and this is Truth in Media.
Truth in media. There's no
Jimmy
way
Carter.
They would lie to me.
Jimmy was all pro
they're
Pavid,
against
now
the
he's flipped and went
mainstream media
anti-Pavid.
with all their flashy production titles and
Pavid? Huh? Jimmy was all Pavid, now he's flipped and went anti... What? What is Pavid, and what are you trying to say? I must be missing something. Anyway, listen to this.
professional, well-edited production. Oh, hang on.
Jimmy Carter.
From mainstream media again?
COVID.
Oh yeah, of course. Alternative.
What do you mean, pro?
Daniel Andressy.
What do you mean?
My apologies, good sir.
Thank you. I accept your apology. Now just try to stay on topic with me, okay? You don't try to fucking hijack my show ever again, Daniel. Okay? You don't have the balls. You don't have the fucking
Jimmy Carter.
the sources or the information
didn't want to
or
say
anything
COVID
to
for
hijack
YouTube
my
strikes.
show when I'm fucking talking about something else. You stay on topic here. God, I hate fucking people that do that shit. So, you're not helping me at all. But I do accept your apology. Now go fuck off.
Truth in media.
It's not the
There's
first
no
time
way
you've done it,
they
douchebag.
would lie to me. I mean, they're against the mainstream media with all their flashy production titles and professional, well-edited production. Oh, hang on. Was he different from mainstream media again? Oh yeah, of course.
Daniel
Alternative
Andressy.
facts.
The war
sir.
over face masks. Yes, in our highly politicized climate, it seems like everybody has to be on some kind of team against everybody else.
Well, if you think that facts and alternative facts are on different teams, then, well, maybe, yes. Now, this is Ben Swan from Real Truth Media, or some such. And he's got some conclusions that he wants to share.
Let me just tell
with
you guys, I love
about wearing
Thunderfoot. You should all be
And this
subscribed
is
to him,
what
and you
need
should
to
all
know.
watch his show.
The reality is,
You
number
should
one,
support
wearing an
Thunderfoot
N95 face
all the time.
mask does not...
Okay, now I have to talk over this because he's going to say something that is going to be called medical misinformation on YouTube, and I can't allow those words to be said on my channel. And if they are going to be said, I'm going to say, look, masks work, okay? And that's not just Jimmy Dore and Kurt Metzger, cucking themselves along with what YouTube is making them say. I actually subscribe to the science that masks work. Jimmy Dore and Kurt Metzger don't. They don't subscribe to the science. They don't believe it at all.
Holly Horn.
They're psychotic.
Good on you, Nay.
This video gets very detailed explaining why Jimmy Dore and Kurt Metzger are lying to their audience members, and I'm telling the truth all the time. This video completely explains the science behind masks. Every single one of you, once again, I'm going to say it again, you should all be subscribed to, you should all be watching Thunderfoot, and you should watch all of his old videos. When I'm not live, you can go be watching old Thunderfoot videos and learn a whole bunch of stuff, and learn about how people like Elon Musk lie to you every day.
Now, the bizarre thing here is this is at the end of a 12-minute video where he goes through paper after paper, none of which show what he's just concluded.
Now, here's what that all means. It means that this talk of protecting you from a virus with a mask is
Okay,
not.
now he once again is going to say something not true, and I'm going to go ahead and just say masks work. I support the science, and I support the science behind masks, and it's true that they do work and they do slow down the transmission of diseases among human beings. That's why doctors wear them in surgery. That's why
Today,
nurses
and
wear
the
them
such like.
when they go from patient to patient. And the nurses that don't wear those masks, they should be fucking fired. Fuck you.
And seeing as your video has about 300,000 views and a 90-something% approval rating, I'm going to guess that you've just misled about 1/3 people
Right?
into believing that wearing masks will not affect the spread of the virus.
Right?
You showed a bunch of studies that show that face masks, under some circumstances, can be fairly inefficient at stopping you catching viruses like influenza.
In no significant difference in the incidence of laboratory-confirmed influenza. Did you get that? In the 2019 study, there was no significant difference by wearing an N95 respirator mask.
However, that is not the same thing as showing that masks don't decrease the spread rate of a virus, especially in things like in a pandemic. All you've essentially done is looked at a bunch of studies showing that washing your hands really doesn't prevent you getting food poisoning, which is sort of true enough. You mostly eat with a knife and fork anyway, so why should it matter? Then you make the jump to the conclusion that therefore it's completely irrational, that there are all these government rules and regulations requiring that restaurant workers wash their hands.
In fact, in the state of Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has issued an executive order that tells businesses they must force customers to wear a face mask, and if they don't, the owner of that business could lose their license to operate in the state of Michigan. All over the country, we're seeing signs, people saying you must wear a face mask.
Yes, you're about to witness Ben Swan of real, of course I'm not lying to your face media, go on to speculate that something as mundane as the health benefits from washing your hands or wearing a mask. Nah, he's going to dismiss all of the science on it and run off to the conclusion that simple hygiene is actually about the government forcing you to submit.
It's not based in science or fact. And if it's not, then is wearing a face mask really about protecting the public? Or does it become about submission of the public? Are we being forced to submit merely because politicians want us to?
And this is where the whole conspiracy bullshit breaks down in the face of a pandemic. This is not some little thing to try and control people in the United States. This happens in every country on the planet. The communists, the capitalists, the bourgeoisie, the dictators, the libertarians, and the liberals. You know why, Ben? Because a virus doesn't care about your political persuasion. Now,
Shingles doesn't care. Hey, man, COVID doesn't care. You know, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, social distance, don't social distance, lockdown, don't lockdown. COVID doesn't care.
Rip
for Ben here,
underscore 52
they all got together, all of these different
Imagine
people.
being scared
Really?
of the sniffles.
Really? Scared of the sniffles, Rip? Who are you? Jimmy Dore, 60 people died yesterday in Florida. Did they just have the sniffles, you idiot? Hey, guess what, Rip? You just earned a block
boy.
on my live stream.
Where's the space balloon?
Bye. Go fuck off, fucking science denier.
They all got together in a
Cheers,
big
guys.
room
No longer
to
regarding cannabis.
conspire to get people in America
Cheers,
to
Jimmy.
wear masks.
Then is wearing a face mask really about protecting the public? Or does it become about submission of the public? Are we being forced to submit merely because politicians want us to?
Reality check time.
What
South
the
Korea
fuck?
got its
Hollyhorn.
first case of the coronavirus
Cheers.
on the same day that the US did. It
Stephen
had
Rutter.
an outbreak of the coronavirus
Cheers.
sooner than the US did. But thanks to the rapid action and the vigorous contact testing, they got their outbreak under control much sooner. And they did it all without the need for a nationwide shutdown. Now the United States is sitting on about 140,000 deaths, while South Korea has yet to make it to 300. The US is currently recording 70,000 new cases per day. That's over 5 times the entire number of cases that
nice
were
outside.
recorded in South Korea.
Really nice.
And your response to this, Ben, isn't, wow, they really got their act together there. Maybe we should do what they did.
I'm out of coffee.
While South Korea was putting into action its antivirus protocols, people like Ben here were busy trying to spin this into some sort of conspiracy
Okay,
theory
he's getting
about
ready to get
how
to
it
the
was
sance
all
part.
they
Listen to what he
were trying
says,
to
and I'm gonna go
control
make
you.
my coffee.
Like
I'll be
that
right
will
back.
really help
3
limit
minutes.
the spread of the virus.
The war over face masks. Yes, in our highly politicized
Look,
climate,
I
it
grabbed
seems
my
like
bubbler instead of my
everybody
coffee
has
mug.
to be on some kind of team against everybody else. This latest example is whether or not you are for wearing a face mask
Hollyhorn.
or you're against it.
Yeah, Ben.
Biden
It's almost
will
like
declare an
having a
end to the COVID
population
emergency
that
May
understands
11th.
that an infectious disease is infectious is better at controlling that disease than a population that sees mundane hygiene procedures as some elaborate government conspiracy designed to get you to submit to their supreme control. Odd how that works. Look, Ben, I'm going to make this idiot-proof for you. Viruses are tiny, self-replicating cell fragments. They cannot live on their own. They can only live if they've got your cells to help them replicate. There's sort of cellular parasites like that. Now, at some point, the virus has to get from person A, who is infected,
Watch
to
this.
person B, who isn't.
This is just this.
And
This is
in
look.
principle, one virus particle.
All of you that watch this show, if you want to do the world a service, take a clip of this from my show and send it off, tweet it to Jimmy Dore, so he can tell his audience that he's been lying to them every time he says masks don't work.
Concede a new infection.
Hollyhorn.
Now, in every country around the world,
was a video
there's
off
been a
an airport
world
that told
spread
where people
rate
didn't wash their
observed.
hands.
That world spread rate is one infected person
A video?
infects about 3 people
People
either
didn't wash
before
their
they
hands.
die or they get better. This means that you can do the exponent calculation and work out that it's a little over a couple of months from first case to complete world infection, assuming no one does
Hollyhorn.
anything to try and slow that
Yes.
spread rate down. Now, the virus infects your lungs, and it uses the cells in your lungs to create the new cell membranes for the virus. So, ballpark figures, there you can turn your entire lung surface area into virus particles. So, how big is a virus? Well, a virus
It
is
was
about
disgusting.
a tenth of a micron.
Try to pay attention to this, okay?
Square-ish.
Listen
So
to
there
what
are
he's
about
saying. This is
100
very
of them
important.
in a square micron. And there are about 100 trillion of them in a square meter. Your lungs have an area of about 100 square meters, meaning that if only 1% of the surface area of your lungs is turned into virus particles, you have enough virus particles there to infect 1 million Earths without even breaking a sweat. Now, you'll be happy to find out here that viruses aren't smart. They have no intelligence and no plan. So, most of those viruses stay in the body.
That's why
either
COVID
until the
doesn't
immune system
care.
kills them or they kill the body. However, some of those virus particles are excreted somehow. Yeah, in this case, probably in little droplets that come out of the mouth.
There's another danger to wearing these masks on a daily basis, especially if you're wearing it for several hours.
Okay, so, right, look.
When a person is infected with the
this
respiratory...
is not true what he says right here. So I have to go past this. I'm sorry, because he's lying and I can't have this misinformation on my channel. I'm going to go grab my coffee. I'll be right back.
Shows himself to be an idiot. So, we've just covered the fact that if you get infected, you have trillions of virus particles in your lungs. And he's worried that you might breathe a few of them back in. Whereas in reality, of course, a few extra virus particles for you will make no difference whatsoever because you're already infected. However, for people out there who aren't infected, a few virus particles is the difference between not being infected and being infected. And of course, like most conspiracy nuts, Ben projects like crazy. That is, accuses everyone else of doing the things that he does most of all. That is, when you hear him saying something like this, you got to bear in mind that he's most accurately describing himself.
And you're not saying that based on science. You're not saying that based on scientific evidence.
Amanda
You're
K.
saying it because it's what you're
The part
being
about the
told
masks is true,
over and over and over again.
Anyway, where were we? Yes, Ben in the middle of telling us how masks don't prevent the spread of the virus.
Amanda K.
Even though he's just admitted they are
So it
stopped
wasn't
by
misinformation.
wearing a mask. You see, in reality, the viruses like to come out of your mouth in very small droplets of water. You know, the sort of thing that would be absorbed into a mask and there would be zero chance of you breathing back in again. However, if you're not wearing a mask, those virus particles can go absolutely everywhere. Now it's got to get into another person, and again, the details of that are actually kind of fuzzy. You know, it's just one of those problems. If virus particles are so small that you can't see them, then tracking small numbers of them in the environment is almost impossible. But what you do know is the spread rate. That is, one in...
The part about masks is true, though, so it wasn't misinformation. I didn't even let that part about masks get played on my show. I do remember it being misinformation. I don't know exactly what it was he said, but I remember that it's not true what he fucking said. So, Amanda K., I don't know what the fuck you think you're even talking about unless you're trying to tell me that you've seen this video before. Is that what you're saying? Or did you watch the... Are you a Ben Swan fan? Even better. Amanda, are you a Ben Swan fan? Is that where you got this original information from? Oh, this could be gold right here. Please tell me you saw that from Ben Swan himself. And you don't know how to spell misinformation, which is perfectly telling from someone like you. You don't even know... You literally put miss and then you put information. That's so bad. God, that's so bad. And you're going to talk science with me? Okay, Miss Information. That's your new name, Amanda. Your name is Miss Information. You've named yourself in my chat. But please, go right ahead and tell me where you heard, how you think you know what Ben Swan said right there. Because I don't even remember what he said. I just knew it was going to be misinformation. And sure enough, when I pulled up, what did Thunderfoot say? He just proved himself to be an idiot, right? Isn't that what we heard? Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
Oh, I can't remember.
Because you sounded like you wanted to say something.
No. I'm just laughing.
So she's gone. Okay, fine. Whatever. Let's keep going.
Infected person, on average, infects 3 more people before they either get better or die. However, one thing that we do know about the spread of the virus is the virus has to leave Boris and enter Bernie. And the more barriers you put in the way of that, the lower the infection rate.
That's
And
it.
the most obvious way of doing this, of course, is Bernie never goes anywhere near Boris.
Barry.
He socially distances.
That's called social
And
distancing.
therefore, he
Stay
never comes
30
in
feet away from
contact with
somebody
the
if you don't want
virus,
to catch something
and he
from
never contracts the virus.
6 feet
This
my ass.
is why social distancing works. Now, in this case, he's going to cite a bunch of studies, none of which
It's a boy.
address the use of masks
also a boy.
to slow the spread of a pandemic. None. Nada. Zip. Yes, this is the great research done by Truthiness News.
There were no statistically significant differences in preventing laboratory-confirmed influenza.
All right, now, so, he's reading from an article here, and I'm sure I'm sure it's the article that he's probably reading or the study he's reading is probably accurate, but he probably comes up with some kind of a stupid conclusion at the end of it, which would be misinformation.
Chances of catching a cold. None of them address the chances of you spreading coronavirus during a pandemic. But hey, here's a thought for you, real truth in this news, and something that's not addressed in any of your studies. Boris here has been listening to real truthiness news and completely believes that masks don't stop the spread of a virus in a pandemic.
And this is what you need to know. The reality is, number one, wearing an N95 face mask does not prevent the spread of virus.
So when he gets the virus, he coughs out virus particles.
Here's the science.
Now, Bertie, on the other hand, understands that wearing a face mask will reduce the amount of virus that he coughs out, maybe by a factor of a third. So when Bertie coughs, he excretes 1/3 of the virus, thereby reducing the spread of the virus by a factor of 3, which is...
And that's what Jimmy Dore needs to see right there. So all of you that are on YouTube that can make a clip of what we just watched, please clip that, send it to Jimmy Dore, and say, Jimmy.
Florida George.
Hey, whoa, dude, what's up with you, man? Florida George, welcome to my block list. Yeah, welcome to my block list. Wow. You're banned. Wow, what an idiot.
What are all these people coming out and you're talking about, like, masks? It's like all of a sudden...
They get their little dicks hurt because they're all anti-vaxxers. And all the little anti-vaxxers come crawling out of the woodwork in the middle of the night when the lights go out like little cockroaches that they are. And I come up here and I fucking stomp them like a can of Raid with my truth and not even me. I'll let Thunderfoot do it. I'll just let Thunderfoot do the talking. I'll let the scientists do the talking.
I'm on it. This is one guy again.
Thank you, Billy.
Billy Ballantyne. Morning.
It's you can tell it's one guy when the numbers don't change.
Horn.
You know?
Nay, Raid.
Raid? Well, we like raids. Who's raiding, Holly?
Oh, you're talking about...
Oh, no, raid. No, I wish I was getting raided. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the can raid. Yeah, I am the raid. You're right. But it's, you know, I'm just spraying Thunderfoot videos all over their faces. Because he's the scientist, and he's an actual researcher and a scientist, and you can listen to him.
Hollyhorn. Anti-roach.
And you can get some fantastic information, and he makes it so simple for people, you know? This was such a... Once again, look, for those of you who want to make a clip and send it to Jimmy Dore, I'm going to make this full screen, and feel free to send this to... I don't need to be in this at all, right? Feel free to send this to Jimmy Dore on Twitter.
Prevent the spread of virus.
So when he gets the virus, he coughs out virus particles. Now, Bertie, on the other hand, understands that wearing a face mask will reduce the amount of virus that he coughs out, maybe by a factor of a third. So when Bertie coughs, he excretes 1/3 of the virus, thereby reducing the spread of the virus by a factor of 3, which is not far off what has been found on the effectiveness of using masks in a pandemic to reduce the spread rate. So let's see what we got. Proceedings of the Royal Society.
Okay, so this is funny.
A modelling framework to assess the likely effectiveness of face masks in combination with lockdown in managing the COVID-19 pandemic. And it's from some rinky-dinky little outfit called the University of Cambridge? Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure they're a respectable outfit. Never heard of them myself, but let's see what they've got to say, shall we? With the COVID-19 with an R0 of 2.2. So R0 is basically the spread rate. So when the R0 gets down to 1, the rate that people are losing the virus and the rate that they're contracting it is the same. So when you get to an R0 lower than 1, you're winning. And the wild spread rate for COVID-19 is probably 2, 3, that sort of thing. And for scenarios where face masks were worn only after the onset of symptoms, the median R0 fell below 1 if at least 95% of the population wore face masks with a similar efficiency to N95s. With a policy that all individuals must wear face masks all of the time, a median effective R0 or of below 1 could be reached, even with a face mask effectiveness of 50% with a R0 of 2.2, or face mask effectiveness of 75% with an R0 of 4. Too long didn't read version. It's expected that wearing a face mask will about halve the spread rate of the virus.
Set aside your preconceived notions. What?
So there you go. You got plenty of information to send over to Jimmy, and you can say this to Jimmy Dore. Hey, Jimmy, why don't you consider having Thunderfoot on as a guest? Why don't you consider having Back to the Science on as a guest? You know, and then, you know, you can push back against them. What do you think? Those of you who do that, you make a clip of that and you send it to Jimmy Dore on Twitter. Make sure you add it to me too, so I see that you've done it. All right? That's it. Thank you so much. There's the information. It's right there on that Thunderfoot video. You know, I could go more on it. Absolutely. It goes on and on. It's still got 6 minutes left on the video, but it's just Thunderfoot destroying that guy. And he's already been destroyed. The job was done. He did a great job. And for those of you that you know, are interested in maybe saving somebody's life even. I know it sounds silly. Leave me out of it. You don't want to include me in any of this. You don't have to include me in any of this at all. Go to the video. In fact, I'll give you a link to the Thunderfoot video if you don't want to give me credit for any of this. I'm fine with that. This is seriously, it's about saving people's lives. Okay, so I'll take it 13 minutes in.
If you don't feel so.
Okay. Let's go 13. Okay, here we go. 13 minutes, 13:02. Wait. Copy. Okay, there we go. So, you know, if you don't want to promote my show, but you do want to save some people's lives, feel free to grab that link. It even starts the video right where that little demonstration goes, and then it goes on to talk about Cambridge University verifying the information. Go ahead. You're welcome, huh? Like I said, you don't have to promote me. You don't have to do anything for my show. Go ahead and take that, send that to Jimmy Dore, you know, and send it to Kurt Metzger, and maybe send it to Steph Zamorano, and say, hey, you know, Steph, why doesn't your husband like have someone like Thunderfoot on or someone like Back to the Science on their show that debunk these idiots, these misinformants that he's been having on time after time? It's always the same people. You know, John Campbell, Robert Malone. John Campbell, Robert Malone. John Campbell, Robert Malone. John Campbell, Robert. Why is that? Are those the only two people that back up your lies, Jimmy? I've got Sunbeam for smoke rings. All right. I've got a Sunbeam for smoke rings. That is all you need to know. Jiminy cheers. Holly cheers. Billy cheers. Everybody that's in the sphere. So we've been however spike. Later. Yeah, whatever, dude. Go fuck yourself. There's another anti-masker popped into the Rumble. And since they don't want to speak, since they come in and then they're like, they leave their little snipe and then they go, later, I'll make sure to block you so you can't ever come back in again, you little fuckstick. Bye. Fucking idiots. This is, you know, there is no counter narrative to facts, you morons. I'll smoke to that. Cheers, Jimmy. Cheers, BD, Robin, Holly, Steve, Billy, and everyone that's in the sphere. No law regarding cannabis cannabisisms for all, Sunbeam for smoke rings. Cheers.
Man, how do you? I'll never have one too.
Sunbeam for smoke rings. Jimmy Dore's KlLLED just killed 64 Floridians yesterday. Way to go, Jimmy. Presents as a KlLLED, Jimmy Dore. Yeah. COVID presents as a KlLLED. Yeah, Jimmy, right. Tell that to the 64 dead people in my state. I wonder how many people died in all the other states, too, Jimmy. Way to go. 1 million followers. You should be so proud. Fucking idiot.
You know why he does it? It's because it gets money. It's like if you were to give real truth and fact and information, people don't want that. They want the hysterical shit. For some reason, it sells. So that's all he's doing, and he's killing people while he's doing it.
Rumble chat is crazy. Well, the thing about if Jamal Thomas is who I think it is, I don't like that guy. But I got to tell you, this guy that just said we've been past the mask nonsense for years. What I mean, are you from Cambridge, dude? Are you from Cambridge University?
Who's weave? We.
Who's what?
Who's we? Who's we? He says we've been like he represents someone. Who does he represent? We.
We've been well past him
Yeah, like
himself. He thinks he solved something or whatever. I don't know. I mean, Thunderfoot is a researcher, and he's a damn good one. And Cambridge University isn't good enough for you? Huh? That's crazy, man. You literally accept whatever you saw off of a TikTok video or a Ben Swan video over a Cambridge study. You know, I mean, Holly's like, yeah, who's we? Weave. Go watch the Thunderfoot video. Go watch, go watch him debunk that nonsense. That's all I can tell you, man. People that you think that somebody's not credible, fine. What do you think about the Cambridge study? Go look at that.
That would require reading.
I still own and use my masks. You know, and I will. It's a great idea. Even if you're like me and you podcast 3 times a day and you really can't afford to catch a cold, because then you're going to be missing shows and whatnot. A mask is a great idea for even if there isn't a pandemic for me. If I'm in a large group of people, I don't want to catch a cold.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
That's the way I look at it.
I know. That's the way I look at it too. It's just common sense, man. I mean, my whole life, I've always seen immunocompromised people wearing masks in public for whatever their reason was. I never even thought twice about it. I'm like, you got to do what you got to do. I never questioned the science behind it. Why would I? It's obviously helping them. And then it was something I didn't know anything about. But if people were using it for medical reasons, I thought, no problem with me. It doesn't affect me at all. And the fact that it affects you to the point that you have to call it nonsense and say we've been past it. Think about that. We've been past the nonsense. Oh, really? We've been past the nonsense over something that's already been proven time and time again to work? What are you even talking about? That doesn't make sense. And that is the psychosis behind a lot of people who call themselves anti-vaxxers. That's the psychosis behind somebody like Jimmy Dore. Not even an anti-vaxxer. He's just, he's got his narrative and he's got his 2 sources, Jimmy Dore and his 2 sources. John Campbell and Robert Malone. 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 Well, oh yeah, and then all of the bunk science sources that he claims, and when you go looking them up, you know, it's like, yeah, this is a full-on right-wing conspiracy nut job source of information. And, you know, he doesn't ever mention that either. He will say the name of the source, and he acts all proud. He'll say the name of his source, and I'm like, okay, I'll type it into Google. It says, like, yeah, comes up fucking totally red on the right-wing fucking nut job scale. So,
must be from Oxford.
it's, you just want, you know, you either want to convince a bunch of people of what you think and whether what you're saying is true or not. And let me tell you something, man. When it happens, it's going to be brutal on Jimmy. It's going to be brutal. I mean, the whole thing with him having a sock account and retaining his audience after that was a test. But I have a feeling when he retests that again, and he will, and Billy Ballantyne called this a long time ago. He said, dude, Jimmy Dore is going to fall. Don't let him bring you down with him. Remember that, Billy? It wasn't that long ago. And Billy's right. Billy's right. He's going to say something, or evidence will come out, you know, debunking, you know, something he's been saying for a long time. And it will swallow up his entire audience. Because every day, somebody that considers themselves a Jimmy Dore fan, they consider themselves a teller of the truth, you know, a researcher into the truth, you know. They got a long way to fall when they find out they're getting lied to, bro. You know, unfortunately, I'm not the messenger, but I will support that messenger when they come along, you know, fully. I mean, Graham Elwood has engaged Jimmy. It's just too bad what they were engaging in was something that I took Jimmy's side on, which was, you know, mandated lockdowns. And I'm like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. I mean, I get it, but you can't do it. And Graham was on the wrong side of that, bro. And, you know, when you're talking about people's freedom versus some people dying, people are going to choose freedom every time. People will die for their freedom. And that's something that Graham isn't looking at, you know, not fully. And, you know, I think that there's room for some kind of giving on Graham's side where he can say, you know, take the loss and say, you know, I was wrong about government. You know, Mr. Government Secrets is going to say that we should trust the government to lock us down and have that kind of power over us. I mean, yeah, okay, the science says if we all stayed in our homes, we'd end the pandemic. I get it. That would be great, Graham. I get it. At the same time, Mr. Government Secrets can't trust the government. You're going to trust them to lock us all down in our homes? I mean, look at what someone like Craig Pasta over there at the Convo We Make Stuff Up couch says about, you know, the government, you know, controlling him by, oh, God forbid, making him wear a piece of plastic on his face. That's government control. That's Chicken Little. That's the boy who cried wolf. And sadly, you know, he hurts himself when he takes that as an argument to try to defend himself against the government. But locking down and preventing your personal freedom of where you go and what you do, yeah, Craig, that's a hill to stand on. I'd stand with you on that one. And at first, I wasn't, because I just took the science side. And the science does dictate that locking down would work. Absolutely. If everybody did it. Sure. But you know what? Sometimes you got to take freedom over science, man. And I had to do that with this because it's true. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking the side of freedom over the science that dictates that if everybody did lock down and stay in their homes for 30 days, you'd end any fucking pandemic. You know, anyone. You'd end them if you did that shit. But, hey, man, you can't trust our government. Our government has Chicken Littled us enough to the point where we can't trust them enough. And this is what Graham has to see. You know, unfortunately, people gonna have to die of COVID. And you're going to have to accept it like Jimmy Dore and Ron Placone do right now when they go all around touring and stuff like that. And I think Graham does too. And you go out there and you have people risk their lives to come see you perform live. How many of your audience members have asthma? How many of your audience members are diabetic? You don't know. You don't care. So it's very hypocritical for all these stand-up comics to be asking people to come see them live. I'm so glad that I'm a stay-at-home podcaster, and that's how I deliver my content to you. That I'm glad that I've always envied all the stand-up comics and wanted to be one. Yes, wanted to, but since this thing, not a good idea. And since I don't do it, well, it's pretty easy to just not do it, because I don't do it. I've never done it before. You know, it's very rarely that I stand up on a stage and make people laugh, you know, because I want to. Got a few responses, you know, every once in a while, but it was never like, hey, you should do this for a living, you know, as a singer. I'm very, what's the word? Shy. And it just seems like to me, stand-up comics have just no shame. And I'm shy. And I'm on stage and I'm singing and I'm performing to people. You know, I'm shy, man. People come up and talk to me and stuff, and I'm like, I kind of black out when I talk to them. It's weird, man. It's social, I don't know. But I did it for years. You know, it wasn't like I was really nervous. I kind of felt good doing it. But just to stand up and tell jokes and make people laugh, man, that's a whole other thing. People don't realize that is a talent. And I have a lot of respect for everyone. Even the brand new people that are like on Twitter, they're like, hey, I did my first show. I got a lot of respect for those people because I've never done that shit. You know, and I'm like, that's crazy that you did it. You get up on stage and you make people laugh for 15 minutes or whatever you do. And you can do that and make money doing that. And that's a beautiful thing. But in today's world, you're encouraging people to come breathe each other's air now. And like I said before, you don't know what your audience's medical records entail, you know, and how at risk these, you know, the 64 people that died yesterday in the state of Florida, what were any of them a Jimmy Dore fan that went out and saw your show? You know, and was it somebody that had diabetes, or was somehow their lungs were compromised in any way? There's all different kinds of lung diseases and ailments out there. Sing with a mask? I could sing with a mask on. I wouldn't like it as much, but I could totally do it.
Like Slipknot did it.
Yeah, man, Guar. Look at Guar.
Yeah, Gore did it.
Those are huge masks.
Yeah. Feeding people to that giant puppet. That was so cool.
To a sea of black, giving your concentration back. No autographs. Let me turn the chat back on. There's a guy named Keith. I wanted to give you guys a chance to make a clip of what Thunderfoot said about the masks with the little diagram and send that to Jimmy Dore. I'm serious about that, everybody. And whoever does that, if you do that on Twitter, if all of you do it on Twitter, I don't care. Make sure you @ Nays Garden. If you make that little clip and send it to Jimmy Dore on Twitter, make sure you add it @ Nays Garden. Okay? I'm serious about that clip, man. All right, notifications are back on. So you'll be able to hear your chat readout again. Hey, Watching says, are you talking about re-engineers, or are you a Salty Cracker fan? What's up, Watching? Are you going to stay and watch? Hey, Watching, I only need 2 more subscribers on my show, on Rumble. 2 more. I'm at 98 followers. If I get 2 more, I don't have to pay them anymore for a chat that doesn't work. You know, which would be great, because I'm paying them monthly so I can live stream. So I wonder what happens once you hit 100, they let you do that. And then what if somebody unsubscribes from your channel? And then you're back to 99. Anyway, I'd appreciate it if you would consider that. I've got a bong rip right here in front of me, but I've also got a dab in front of me. Hey man, why don't I take the dab and melt it? Melt it into my bowl here. This is the wrong lighter to use. This is the right lighter to use.
Starting to think the cannabis that we're getting up here is not that great. I noticed, like, when you light a bowl, it stays lit.
That's
And
good.
that never happened.
No, that's
It
good.
never happened. Yeah, I know it's good, but it doesn't happen with mine.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's
Wow.
just got so much trichomes on it, so much oil that it all just melts together and burns like candle wax. That's what you want. And listen, if you ever smoke a bowl, guys, if you're ever with your friends and it catches on fire, let it burn like that. You know, unless you're done with the bowl, keep the flame going, and you don't have to use the lighter anymore. You get the best, tastiest, purest hits that way. Why wouldn't you self-ignite?
Billy Ballantyne.
This is probably going to do that right now.
I screwed up last HT8 my homemade hot sauce I found in the fridge. Today my ass is Old Faithful. You can set a watch to my explosion.
I'm sorry, Billy. I know that's got to be painful for you. A painful experience. So I smoked to that in hopes that hey man, you got any triage oil? I know a guy who told me you could put it on that region of your body. Oh, that's right, it was you. You got any triage oil in that house, man? You know that's going to make you feel better. All right, anybody? No law regarding cannabis. Cannabisism. This is for all. Cheers, Jiminy. We're going to try to set this on fire. Cheers, Billy in the chat over there on the Rumble Sphere watching, all that stuff. Cheers.
Yeah, there it is. See, mine never does that. But I get that government stuff. I don't think they grow it right.
It was on fire the whole time. It was a very small flame, but
Billy
you could tell.
Ballantyne. Yes. TPO doesn't replace TP, but it helps with monkey butt.
See how it's streaming? It's still streaming after you. Mine doesn't do that. It goes out right
Hollyhorn.
away.
Cheers again.
Cheers, Holly.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna stop buying that.
God, there's a lot of air coming in here. This is still going, so I think I'm going to hit it again. Cannabisism, tisms for all. Cheers, Jiminy. Cheers, everybody in the chat. That's Holly, Horny, Billy, watching over there on the Rumble Sphere.
See, mine's never stayed lit like that, ever. Like, that's why my lungs are probably unflushed shit I'm smoking.
Hollyhorn. It's horny.
I know it's ornate. That's why I left her. It said ornate. I got kafefe, I got cannabis. That was so smooth and perfect and beautifully good and wonderful and awesome. We lost Jiminy, people. We lost Jiminy, people. We lost Jiminy, people.
Hollyhorn. Nay, did you see all the precautions they took at Davos?
No. So, she said, have I got a little story for you?
Hollyhorn.
What you
Nice riff.
thought was your daddy, nothing but a fool. While you was home alone at age 13, your real daddy was dying. Sorry I didn't see him, but I'm glad we talked. But I'm still alive. Well, but I'm still alive. Well, but I'm still alive. Well,
B.D. Robin. Sir, you are living the dream, I do believe. I salute you.
you know, it's like you think about these billionaires that have all this money, and it's like they're never satisfied with what they had, and they had to freaking just work all the time, and just, you know, eventually get to the point where they just rip people off and lie to people just so they get more and more and more and more, and they have this thirst and this never-ending, you know, desire to just keep acquiring more. I wouldn't mind having a Paul Reed Smith guitar. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a nice left-handed Paul Reed Smith guitar. That's what I'm gonna do with my money. I'm gonna get me a nice, expensive freaking guitar. That's it. That's really all I want, man. You know, I'm really happy. I love this house. I love where I live. I love the vehicles I drive. I mean, my silly little Jeep that I was driving around the neighborhood yesterday, I'm so happy. I just took a little spin around my road, you know, just took a little spin, came back, put it in the garage. I'm just a very satisfied person out of everything that life gives me. Yesterday I sat and watched a hawk. You know, a couple days ago I watched a crawfish in the creek. You know, I caught one in my hands. You know, a little crawfish. Let him swim around in my hands for a little bit. That was cool. That makes me happy as hell, man. Being down in that creek, making a little waterfall. Which reminds me, I gotta go clean that one out today. I'm gonna be down in there today. Yeah, man. It's
Billy
my
Valentine.
dream.
And a Lambo and a hot tub and a sauna and a tiger.
The Lambo I don't even want. You know, the Lambo is just, you know, I'd rather have another car than a
B.D.
Lamborghini.
Robin. Contentment is the key.
You know what I want? I want a fucking GTO. You know, like I don't know, like a 67, 66, something super mean looking. I'd rather have that over, perfect mint condition too. I'd rather have that over a freaking Ferrari. You know, all the numbers match on it. It's fucking, you know, right out the factory, fucking badass, stock with that, boom, you know, that fucking sound and that smell. Yeah, I would appreciate that more. What year?
Hollyhorn.
What year did those things have air conditioning?
Good song, too. Little GTO.
What song? Yeah, little.
Billy Valentine. Oh, Barracuda.
You know? I mean,
Hollyhorn.
but do I want a whole...
Vroom.
Do I want a different car for every day? No, I don't. When I see people that have that, though, I'm like, it's really cool, man. It's really neat. It's fun. It's a fun time, but it's not what I need in my life. You know, it was a good statement that you made, bro, because for me, it's like I am living my own dream here, you know? Here, let's do this.
Steven running. 57 Nomad are nice too.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. Is that a van? Are you like one of those creepy van dudes, Steve? I've never heard of that. You mean a Nova? A 57 Nova? No, what 50? What is a 50? What is a Nomad? I don't even know what you're talking about. You're out of my ballpark there, mister. I do not understand.
Billy Ballantyne. I like the 76 Dink Doink.
Yeah, I know. That was basically what I was getting out of that too. I realized I could turn the fucking volume down on this.
It's like a ballet one.
Sorry I didn't see it, but I'm glad we talked. But I'm still She said, oh, do I deserve to be? Is that the question, boy? And if so, who answers, yeah. Oh, I'm still alive, yeah. Oh, I'm still alive,
Chris Ledbeck. Hello.
Chris, what's up,
How are
buddy?
you?
At home, drawing pictures on mountaintops with him on top. Them in yellow sun, arms raised, and a V, a dead lake. In blue summer below. That he didn't give attention, no. And the boy was something that mommy wouldn't wear. King Jeremy, the wicked, oh, his word, Jeremy's broken, clear now, remember, picking on the boys, seen the harmless little buck. Ooh, when your niece lion, massive teeth and big recess laid breast, how can I forget? Hit me with a surprise level. My jaw
Saturday
have hurted, who's
Top
eyes
of the
wide
morning.
open, just like the day. Oh, like the day I heard that he didn't give affection, no. For his mommy didn't care. King Jeremy, the wicked, hold his world on Jeremy's broken glass. Ah, Jeremy's broken glass. Trying to remember, trying to erase me, trying to forget me, trying to erase me, trying to forget me, trying to erase me, trying to forget me, trying to erase me from the blackboard. Jeremy's spoken last Jeremy's spoken, Jeremy's spoken, Jeremy's spoken,
Eddie Valentine.
Trying to forget me, trying to erase me, trying to forget me, trying to erase me from the backbone. Why, Jeremy's broken glass. As Billy says, there it is. Okay, that's cool. All right, but yeah. You just have to hit some harmonics again. It doesn't matter what you hit. What book is this? You could get up and walk away. I stumbled back to the underground and the breeze blew back my hair. I remember throwing punches around and raging from my chair. Who are you? Are you? I really want to know. Who are you? Tell me, who are you? That is hard to sing. I took the tube back to town, back to the rolling pin. I felt a little like a dying clown with a little bit of rin tin tin. I stumbled back and I hiccuped and got back to my busy day. I remember watching you down. Where were you? Tell me, who are you? Tell me, who are you?
morning, men. How difficult was it learning to play left-handed?
How difficult was it learning to play left-handed? Well, I'm left-handed. It was very easy. And when you're right-handed and you play a right-handed guitar, it's very easy to learn a right-handed guitar. All you got to do is get a left-handed guitar. That's it. It's the same as learning right-handed if you're right-handed. They say that some left-handed guitar players have an edge over right-handed guitar players because when we look at the guitar, someone who's playing right-handed to learn, we see a mirror image. So it's really easy for us to see where somebody is so we can learn songs a little bit faster. You don't have to like look backwards at it and try to count and stuff. You just put your hand right where you see somebody else's hand in a mirror image. So it helps.
B. D. Robin. Shout out for the lefties. Spikesta. Who never thought of that?
Well, you know, there's Jimi Hendrix, and there were there's a couple other really great left-handed guitar players besides Jimi Hendrix. I was thinking of this other one. It's a blues player, but I can't remember who it was. Was the blind guitar player? Was that guy left-handed? Blonde hair dude.
D. Robin. Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, there you go. He was a bass player, but yeah, he played guitar too. Said, hey, let's give it a try.
Didn't Hendrix use a right-hand guitar and play it upside down basically?
Conscience was created, all it was related. She ain't it. Fight. She ain't it. Never going wrong for right. Yeah, but I believe that he did use a right-handed guitar and play it upside down and backwards. But okay, Mom. How long? Okay. So fun to play this song. I wish I played it right. Hey man, Steven Tyler, I am not. Luckily. That's a hell of a scream that man's got. Right! Never knowing wrong from right. Right, 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 right. You guys got me on that? You guys got me on that? What you say? What you say, 17 people? What you say, all of you? What you say, son? Never knowing wrong from right, 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 right. Wow, Bitcoin's falling. Bitcoin has fallen. Bitcoin has fallen over. Damn it. What is this? What are these figures? Why can't I see them? Why can't I see these figures? But Harmony's staying up there, 27. Okay, come on, Harmony. You can stay up there, Harmony. Come on. Let's stay up there. Come on, Harmony. Let's keep it real. We're keeping it real. Come on. What are we doing, market? What is today? What is it? It's a weekday. It's the middle of the week. That's what we're doing. It's a Wednesday. Everybody washes their cars on Wednesday. It's Wash a Car Wednesday on this garden. Hey, look at this. Look at us. We got clean cars. Hey, shutting it down. Jiminy. Oh, Jiminy's gone. We've lost to Jiminy. We've got to Jiminy down. We've got to Jiminy down, everyone. We've lost to Jiminy. We don't know why. We don't know. We've lost to Cyber and we've lost to Jiminy, I must say. I'm very sad. I'm saddened by all of this latest news to come into the show. Jiminy's probably playing his guitar, learning those licks I was just playing. I was just going to show him how to do it. That one thing. That bend. You guys enjoy the music or no? You did? Did you guys let me know in the chat if you enjoyed the music? Please. You know, if you want to hear more in the future. Dude, why does it look like I've got like long hair? I don't want this. What is all this? This is too much. It needs to go away. Okay, that's just I'm saying. That's just we gotta shave this down back here. I don't need all this. What is this? No, you guys didn't appreciate the guitar. Okay, that's cool. I was just wondering. I thought I'd ask if you liked the music or not. Nobody had anything good to say about that. That's cool. Thanks for all that support, guys. Love you. Appreciate it. You don't belong here. Romney confronts George. What's that guy's name? Santos?
Stephen running.
Oh, thank you, Stephen.
Always.
Thank you. I caught this YouTuber scamming for $12 million.
This YouTuber made $12 million by secretly pumping and dumping crypto, and no one caught him until now. In public, he says irresponsible sellers should be hit by a bus. Yet behind the scenes, he's been relentlessly selling the cryptocurrency SafeMoon to his gullible followers.
I gotta tell you, I've been watching a lot of CoffeeZilla lately. He came highly recommended from my friend Cyber Reload. He's been telling me to watch him for a while, and I probably could have saved me some money if I'd been watching him. But I like the way he produces his videos, man. He does a really good job, and I can watch his videos with my mom, which I do sometimes, which is cool.
In recent months, he's used his new wealth to buy a Rolls Royce. He's now flying private jets, and he's bragging about literally eating meals made of gold. Now, if you're wondering what is paying for these luxuries and look online for answers, currently all you'll see is a rag to riches story about how this YouTuber went from being homeless to making millions of dollars because of sick pranks he uploaded to YouTube. However, financial records show a different story, and no one would have found out about this had it not been for one individual who tipped me off.
My name is Lewis, and I have
Edible
some
gold is cheap.
information about one of the promoters behind SafeMoon.
So to back up a second, I've been talking to a lot of people about my
Billy, what is edible gold? Please tell the class.
SafeMoon investigation. And at one point, I held an open room where anyone could come in and talk about their experiences, be it positive or negative.
What comes to mind when you say SafeMoon, I think scam, and I think pump and dump.
To me, I see it as a long-term hold. I've seen a lot of people get into it, kind of YOLO all their money in. Just bullshit.
And everything was going normally until the unexpected happened. This guy joined. He's a YouTuber named Sizan, and he's about to make a very serious accusation.
One of the promoters of SafeMoon was dumping SafeMoon while obviously saying, "Oh, I'm holding to the moon, guys," and while he was tweeting those things, was unloading literally millions of dollars with SafeMoon.
Wait a second, that could be criminal. What is this influencer's name?
Ben Phillips UK is his Twitter account.
Wait a second. Ben Phillips is a famous UK YouTuber. He runs a prank channel. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter, and most
Have you guys ever heard of that guy? Let me know. I haven't.
importantly, he was involved with SafeMoon since March 25th, 2021 as part of their marketing team.
My name's Ben Phillips. If you haven't seen me, I'm
Billy
actually
Valentine.
a YouTuber. I think
It's 999 fine gold leaf. It an inert precious metal, gold. You can ingest it. You just put it over the food. Tastes like period blood. Don't eat it.
Period blood. Yes.
it's absolutely incredible, you know, what's going on with the community themselves, being just like picked up my Twitter and being like, yeah, SafeMoon, let's go.
So this is the guy being accused of a pump and dump scheme. But how do we know if this is true? Well, if you look today at Ben Phillips' Twitter account for answers, you won't find much. Most of his statements have been deleted, and that's for good reason. Because in one of them, Ben Phillips does what you should never do if you pump and dump crypto. He leaked his wallet. Quote, if anyone wants to buy me Starbucks today, this is my B&B address. Now, many of you have watched this show long enough to know what a huge admission this is and how this can be used to find out everything Ben was doing with SafeMoon. And the first thing we find is that he was definitely being paid for his role in promoting SafeMoon. The day he joins the team, the 25th of March, he starts getting paid in SafeMoon by the deployer wallet. He ends up getting paid several more times, a total of 5 trillion SafeMoon tokens for his services. But what was interesting was not when he got SafeMoon, but when he decided to sell it. We can check this using archived tweets from Ben Phillips' Twitter account, and we cross-reference that with the blockchain to see his financial activity at the same time. And here's what we found. A pattern of pumping and dumping SafeMoon, with, on the one hand, positive tweets about SafeMoon, while at the same time, Ben Phillips would be dumping the coins for a large profit onto the same people who rushed in to buy based on his tweets. For example, Ben Phillips tweeted, "Holy shit, Doge new all-time high, and now SafeMoon on its way to hitting new all-time high tonight? Who's glad they holding? Not financial advice." That very same day, Ben sold $44,000. And these dumps escalate as we go further into April. On the 20th, he tweeted, "Diamond hands always win," and then tweeted again, "Fire sale." That same day, he sold 3 times for over $1 million. The next day, while tweeting about an all-time high, he said, "I feel bad for everyone who sold again." His next tweet, "I feel bad for everyone who sold." And then this, "Well, I'm holding." That same day, he sold 3 times again for over $500,000. These are clear pump and dumps. If he really thought there was a fire sale on SafeMoon, why sell $1 million of it? And why would you sell $500,000 of SafeMoon right after you say, "Well, I'm holding"? The reason is obvious. He wanted the price to be as high as possible when he sold. And once Ben Phillips started making millions of dollars in such a short period of time, what does he do with that money? He starts spending it on stupid luxury items and bragging about it on Instagram, of course. For example, on May 21st, a month after making millions from pump and dumps, Ben Phillips suddenly buys his dream car, a quote, top of the fleet Rolls Royce. A month later, Ben is chartering private jets to Scotland for a birthday bite with his girlfriend of 3 years. He also can be seen bragging on Instagram about eating steak wrapped in 24-karat gold. Now, it should be noted, I'm not against people making money or promoting a product that they believe in, but this isn't that. Ben Phillips is profiting millions of dollars from publicly praising SafeMoon, saying he's holding SafeMoon, saying it's a good buy, while secretly selling it. He talked a lot during his pump and dump days about responsible versus irresponsible whales. He compares himself to a responsible one, someone who owns a lot of the token and isn't going to sell it suddenly. He contrasts this with irresponsible whales who sell suddenly. He says these people, they deserve the worst. In fact, on July 30th, 2021, when SafeMoon dipped, Ben said, "F***ing irresponsible whale. I hope you get hit by a bus." Now, lucky for Ben, his wish wouldn't come true because, of course, it turns out Ben was a irresponsible whale the exact month he was complaining about it. In fact, in the month of July, when he tweeted this, he was selling over $1 million of SafeMoon, lowering the price even further than it already was. But what are the final figures? How much did he make? Well, I enlisted some fellow researchers to tally the total amount. And according to our calculations, he sold $16 million worth of
someone want to
SafeMoon.
eat metal? I like the taste of lead. Very chewy. Ah.
And it looks like he profited roughly $12 million. Now, will Ben get prosecuted for any of this? I don't know. Very few of these crypto cases get prosecuted, no matter how obvious
mercury in my drinks is eat.
It is. Just very few people pay a penalty. For example, a few months ago, Ice Poseidon admitted on tape to a massive scam and nothing's happened to him yet. So I can't say what the future is for Ben, other than I've done my best to report these actions to the proper authorities, and you're welcome to look through the transaction data yourself, linked below. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and all of this is allegation and opinion until proven otherwise.
Wait, so that's it? It's over? He's not going to prison.
Yeah, our work here is done. Now we let the actual authorities take it from here.
That sucks. The evidence is literally right there in front of everyone.
Well,
I literally don't want to hear you talk about it to your little fake robot pal, buddy. What else we got here? What else do we got?
Billy Ballantyne. You have to eat metal to live. Not gold but iron, zinc, etc.
Death toll surpasses 11,000 in the earthquake. Joe Rogan under fire for anti-Semitism in his defense of Ilhan Omar. Let's watch this.
The podcast host, Joe Rogan, is now facing criticism after he pushed the anti-Semitic trope that Jewish people are, quote, into money. Here's what he said.
Ilhan Omar, where she's apologizing for talking about it's all about the Benjamins.
Yeah.
Which is just about money. She's talking about money.
She shouldn't have apologized.
Hey, man, look, you guys remember, I haven't seen this yet. You guys remember what I said about Ilhan Omar and saying money? I said everybody's into money. It's Jews and everyone else, Christians and Muslims and everybody else. Everybody's into money. So the fact that she said Israel or Jews or whatever runs, it's all about the Benjamins, whatever, that was a true statement. Remember we talked about that? Let's see what, now I haven't seen this. Let's see what Joe Rogan says after I've already made my statement. Now my statement is on my podcast. You guys can go back and find it. You know I already spoke about this. So let's see what Joe Rogan says about it.
Ilhan Omar, where she's apologizing for talking about it's all about the Benjamins.
Yeah.
Which is just about money. She's talking about money.
She shouldn't have apologized.
I'll go ahead and say
that's not
an anti-Semitic statement. I don't think that is. It's about Benjamins or money. You know, the idea that Jewish people are not into money is ridiculous.
Listen.
That's like saying Italians aren't into pizza. It's stupid.
CNN media.
Hey, I got news for him. Italians are into money too. And let me tell you something else. Jews are way into pizza. All right, so you thought you had a cute analogy there, but it's
Analyst and Axios media reporter Sarah Fisher is joining us now. Sarah, I mean, what are people saying about that moment?
People are outraged, but at this point, people are kind of getting used to this being a pattern with Joe Rogan. This isn't the first time that he's defended people who've made anti-Semitic remarks. Obviously, he's now coming out and making them.
Dude,
I think people are frustrated that Spotify hasn't said anything.
We need to first agree. Okay, we all have to agree on a set of facts to begin with. Let's just say this. What Ilhan Omar said was not anti-Semitic. Okay? These people on CNN are liars. This has got to be an opinion piece. Let's see if it says opinion. It does not say opinion over the video. This once again, and CNN wonders why they have the lowest rating in 9 years. Defending what Ilhan Omar said, like I said, like I did, didn't make me an anti-Semite just as much as it doesn't make Joe Rogan an anti-Semite. This is psychotic. Someone should make a clip of this and send it off to old Joe Rogan on Twitter. Me defending him. Doesn't happen that often. But I'll defend him on this because that's some serious bullshit.
Billy Ballantyne. As if Joe hates money. Ahem podcast sponsors Alpha Brain MMA private gym high-end sauna deprivation chamber extensive car collection steroids Cuban cigars private jet.
Multiple
Chris
studios.
Redpick. Pizza is from Egypt. Very old.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that pizza came from Egypt. I think I'm just going to end up going off on this. Let's hear what else CNN says. They just said that what
Billy Ballantyne.
This bitch Sarah Fisher, the media analyst Sarah Fisher just said that what Ilhan Omar said was anti-Semitic. All Ilhan Omar said, it says with Israel, it's all about the Benjamins. That's not anti-Semitic. You could say the same thing with America. Hey man, with America, it's all about the Benjamins. It's an honest statement. It doesn't make you an anti-Semite.
Chris Redpick. She is hot.
CNN media analyst and Axios media reporter Sarah Fisher is joining us now. Sarah, I mean, what are people saying about that moment?
To each his own,
People
I guess,
are
Chris.
outraged, but at this point, people are kind of getting used to this being a pattern with Joe Rogan. This isn't the first time that he's defended people who've made anti-Semitic remarks. Obviously, he's now coming out and making them.
So,
I think
in her special way, she just said that what Ilhan Omar said was anti-Semitic. Okay, there, and no one is sitting there pushing back against this dumb B. I. And you know the rest of the word. I have an itch on my arm. And its name is whatever that moron's name is right there.
People are frustrated that Spotify hasn't said anything yet, but historically they take their
Billy
time to
Valentine.
respond to these things.
But you talked to Daniel.
I think she looks like she's collecting acorns in her face.
She does. And her nostrils, too.
Who's the CEO of Spotify about this? What did he say?
Not about this specifically, but about
She looks like a
bigger issues.
Muppet.
Sure, this is something that Spotify's been talking about for a long
She reminds me of Miss Piggy Muppet. The way her mouth and nose are shaped and everything. She just reminds me of Miss Piggy Muppet.
time. How do they think about content moderation? Because they're not the same as Google and Facebook. They're a different kind of platform. Ultimately, obviously, they'll say that they care a lot about safety, but remember, they're a Swedish company. So they think about these things and how they play out
Chris
in the U.S. a little bit differently.
Billy and Nancy Grace.
You know, Don Lemon wears different things to try to troll his audience. He's admitted it. I wouldn't mind sending a tweet to CNN and say, you know, Don Lemon's attire shouldn't be a point of discussion, let alone arguing, you know, or drama on a news program. And I commend you in taking him from his 9 p.m. slot, because it's obvious why you did it.
One thing that distinguishes
I'd like to tweet
Spotify
that
and
at
Daniel from
CNN.
other tech CEOs is they take their time. You're not going to see some sort of rushed policy implemented today. They'll probably come out and condemn these remarks. Maybe they'll throw a misinformation label, and then presumably everything will just move on. I'm not saying that that's what it should be, but that's what's happened in the past with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit just quickly about that, because you said they'll just throw up a label on it. That's what happens, like these streaming sites now, where you know have to pay for the site. They're sort of the wild, wild west, where you can say what you want. There are no standards and practices, and really, you don't have to answer to anyone. So basically, this probably will not hurt Joe Rogan, and everyone will just sort of move on from this.
It's definitely not going to hurt Joe Rogan. It's not going to hurt Spotify. They do have some policies, but you're right. Streaming is the wild, wild west of content moderation.
Welcome to Nate's Garden.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen saying the probability of a U.S. recession is low this year.
Go back.
The podcast host, Joe Rogan, is now...
Hurt Joe Rogan. It's not going to hurt Spotify. They do have some policies, but you're right. Streaming is the wild, wild west of content moderation. Have some policies, but you're right. Streaming is the wild, wild west of content moderation. Do have some policies, but you're right. Streaming is the wild, wild west of content moderation.
Welcome to Nate's Garden. That has got to be my intro. Welcome to the wild, wild west. Welcome to Nate's Garden. Where I don't curse, and neither can you. And if you do, I'll edit it out. It used to be the Wild Wild West. I am a sad, sad puppy. Why is my camera crooked now? Camera's crooked. Should it be like that? I don't know. Should we go back to the rectangle on this one? Yeah, we should. I like that better now. And also, my camera's crooked. Yeah, oh, it is. I must have bumped it or something. Huh. That's kind of cool, right? That's straighter. That's what's up. So, okay, there. Now we heard about
Chris Redpick.
That's all going to be Joe Rogan.
Time to smoke.
Has to defend himself against the freaking crazy, you know, liberals, the liberal media that you know, everything is anti-Semitic. Dave Chappelle's anti-Semitic, Joe Rogan's anti-Semitic. You know, Jimmy Dore, what's funny about Jimmy Dore is he did retweet Theora Isabella from the Convo We Make Stuff Up couch. And she did post an anti-Semitic tweet. And Jimmy Dore from his sock account retweeted the anti-Semitic tweet because he's too much of a fucking pussy to say it from his normal account. Aren't you, Jimmy Dore? Or shall I call you Two Coats? shall I call you? What is it? Libtard 1, is it? His sock account? I don't know. All right, Chris, Billy, and everyone that's on the sphere. That's who's on the sphere. Baba Blue Jaws! Baba Blue Jaws is on the sphere, chilling around last year and this year. It's Baba Blue Jaws. Let's get rid of this. Remove. Let's redo this. Add a sauce and special sauces here. Special sauces and sorts here. Here we go. Yes, yes, indeed. We take this and we put it here like this, and we go like this. Isn't that special? Isn't that special? Cheers, guys. Cannabisism, tism for all.
Chris Regpick. The days are starting to get longer now.
That's what blinds are for, baby.
Billy Ballantyne. Some idiot just asked me if my Egyptian death mask was solid gold. Dumbass, the price says $1,200. That would be like $4 million.
Dude, they're expecting over 20,000 deaths from this earthquake. 13 million
Chris
people
Regpick.
affected.
What the heck is that thing in your hands?
Israel has sent 150 professionals to Turkey. China has, Japan has, Libya, United Arab Emirates has sent 50 million in aid. UK has sent 77 professionals. Pakistan has sent 51 professionals. Wow, man. India has sent 47 professionals. Even Ukraine has sent 90 professionals.
Billy Ballantyne.
Somebody texted me this.
It's new tech where you can talk to anyone anywhere, and it also shows you boobs if you want.
Somebody follows me a lot. They're called Better Call It Cannabis. Hey, is that hash? Dude, it's freaking hash, guys. He's over there, man. Holy shit.
Chris Regpick. Nothing wrong with dairy. Chris Regpick. Ah.
Bro, Hash sent me a message. He says it's way worse than what everyone thinks. He says he was 2 hours away from the center, the epicenter. He's lost friends in this earthquake, bro. Hash. He says, you guys aren't going to want to hear this, man. Over 15,000 apartment complexes have been just pancaked. 3 to 14 floor buildings just collapsed on themselves. And they're not even searching those because there's no one left alive in them. It killed everybody in them.
Chris Regpick. I was in an earthquake. It is really scary.
Dude, I've been in quakes, but nothing like this was almost an 8.0, bro. I think what they say, 7.8. Dude, I think that one with the frack quake I was in, what was that, a 4 or a 5.0? A 4.0? I have to look on my channel.
Chris Regpick. Turkey just had an earthquake in 1999. Very bad. Chris Regpick. Building without rebar are deadly.
Frack quake. 5.0.
Like the shit you wouldn't want to press, but you know, it just kills you.
You guys like watching this? Oops. That was the wrong button. I usually don't make that mistake. That was funny.
The shit you wouldn't want to press, but you know, it just kills you to press it. Because you're like, this is so dank and insane. Oh god, that's an earthquake. The guitars are still swinging on the wall. Are you guys okay? Oh my god.
Chris Regpick. Your face.
I know, I was a fatty. I was a pudgy fat boy.
Dude, that scared the shit out of me.
With flabby arms.
That's one of the worst earthquakes we've ever had here. Frack quake. Dude. My heart just fucking jumped. Look. Dude, my heart just jumped.
Son? What the hell?
Billy Ballantyne. That's how I realized my sister was stupid. She said we don't have to worry about earthquakes cause I live in the mountains. What a dingus.
Like the mountains are above. Oh, that's funny. That's cute. That's fun to watch. 5.0. $11 years ago. Fuck YouTube. "12-hour video if I rule the world." Why was I live for 12 hours? Oh my goodness. running videos, dude. Holy shit. Dino's in there with me. I can see Dino chilling. It's not loading the video because it's so long, dude. It's 12 hours. Dino's still there. We must have been blasting, bro.
Chris Regpick. I was in the mountains of Chile during a quake. All the fireflies starting shinning and bang. It hit. The bugs told me ahead of time. Really weird stuff. Many people died and bridges desed.
So the little bugs detect the fucking earthquake. That's pretty cool, dude. People could use that, like a little jar of fireflies and light up if they're in an area where they don't want to be. So this video is not loading. I don't know why. I can see it, but it's just turning and turning and turning.
Chris Regpick. Fireflies.
Fireflies.
Billy Ballantyne. I'm gonna smoke a firefly this year.
I'm sure you will.
Chris Regpick. If you see them going crazy, you know. It was winter and I was inside too.
Let's watch this for me, guys. You guys mind if we watch something just for me? It's a update on Celsius.
What's up, guys? Aaron Bennett here. Celsius Network updates. I'm going to touch on an update from Binance, which I think is very interesting. I'm going to talk about this new asset share token that may be coming out and how many creditors are in different categories of claims. I'm going to talk about a conflict of interest where David Barrs is also a preferred B shareholder and what that means. I'm also going to talk about the Celsius UCC billing of $300,000 towards drafting a plan. I'm going to talk about a pro se creditor pushing the judge to talk about retail clawbacks to give people some clarity. A partner at Kirkland & Ellis has a $38 million new mansion in Malibu. But before I dive into those stories, two things I want to talk about. The first, a lot of us are getting tax 1099 forms from Celsius. I am not a CPA or a tax person, but I will say that you should probably talk to a tax person. But most likely what they're going to say, again, not tax or financial advice, is that you should pay the 1099 because Celsius is sending that to the IRS. That is probably what they're going to say. And when we know what the restructured company will be, or if there is an asset sale or whatever, then most likely we will get a new form where we will be able to write off any losses, and that will be taken care of after we have a solid plan. Second, I just want to touch on, there's a lot of scam comments on my YouTube videos talking about contacting me on WhatsApp. These are all scams, and this is not me. Do not contact anybody on WhatsApp or Telegram. If anybody messages you or emails you or sends you a message on any platform, Twitter, Telegram, WhatsApp, it's not going to be me. And if you want to confirm, I will leave my exact Twitter handle and you can just reach out to me and confirm if it's me or not. So this just came in from Binance. So Binance suspends all US and US bank transfers as of Wednesday, February 8th. But the thing is that this is not Binance US. We have the official Binance US customer support saying that Binance US and Binance are separate entities. So some people are saying, oh my gosh, Voyager is screwed or all this stuff like that. But what people are seeing is this. We are writing to inform you that we are suspending USD deposits and withdrawals after February 8th. So this is some news, but again, it is way too soon in order to create FUD around this. Next, taking a look at this sheet. Now, this shows all of the Celsius creditors, how much their claims are worth, and then how many people fall into these categories. And this has to do with that convenience class that Celsius was going to say they will use. Essentially, people under a certain threshold will just get most of their crypto back in cash, and they will not get a vote. So I do find it interesting right here, as if I can scroll down, that there are a ton of people, I would say the vast majority of people, are going to be under around $10,000 for their claim. We can see that there are 438 creditors, $1 to $41 million, and we have 63,000, 10 to 100,000. So we will see what happens here, but it is interesting to see this breakdown. Next, taking a look here, we have David Barse, who is on the restructuring committee. Well, he's also a preferred B shareholder. Now, this means that he isn't...
So that kind of interests me, actually, what he was just talking about, because I fall under one of those categories, right? And my name appears under there, and they're talking about how they're going to be paying us back, and he just said in cash, and that ruins my investment if they do that. It fucking ruins my investment. So, wow.
Claim. We can see that there are 438 creditors, $1 to $41 million, and we have 63,000, 10 to 100,000. So we will see what happens.
I'm in that 10,223 group. The one in the middle, right by his head. It says 100,000 or 300,000. I got a little over 100,000 in there. So I should be in that list right there. And it says Schedule F next to it. I want to hear him talk about the payback thing again.
Create FUD around this. Next, taking a look at this sheet. Now, this shows all of the Celsius creditors, how much their claims are worth, and then how many people fall into these categories. And this has to do with that convenience class that Celsius was going to say they will use. Essentially, people under a certain threshold will just get most of their crypto back in cash, and they will not get a vote. So I do find it interesting right here, as if I can scroll down, that there are a ton of people, I would say the vast majority of people, are going to be under around $10,000 for...
Oh my God, did you hear that? I'm so glad I played that back. So, you know, I don't know where those groups fall, but I might fall in the group that gets paid back in crypto.
Their claim. We can see that there are 438 creditors, $1 to $41 million, and we have 63,000, 10 to 100,000. So we will see what happens here, but it is interesting to see this breakdown. Next, taking a look here, we have David Barse, who is on the restructuring committee. Well, he's also a preferred B shareholder. Now, this means that he is an equity shareholder and has equity in the company. You can see right here, David Barse, he invested in the Series B shares. You can also see Bank to the Future right here invested in the Series A, and they have quite a large stake in Celsius. And what Cam Cruz says about this problem is that an equity investor, meaning David Barse, running the bankruptcy, meaning that's what he's doing, running the bankruptcy restructuring, is incentivized to prefer high-risk plans because they need to fill the hole to get anything back. They get nothing from a straightforward unwinding, so they're perfectly happy to take risks with what is left of our deposits. What this means is that in order for the equity shareholders to get money back, which is ironically what happened in court today, they need the hole to be filled, therefore the unsecured creditors will get their full share, and then the equity shareholders will get their money back. So Cam Cruz says there is a big conflict here. Next, we have the Celsius UCC billing $300,000 towards drafting a plan and a disclosure statement to present upon the expiration of exclusivity. So essentially what this means is that they've already billed the estate over $300,000.
How do Americans feel about this weather balloon from China?
I think most Americans were pretty fed up with it. We didn't want it over our country, and we think that most of us thought it should have been shot down before it got here. We feel that Joe Biden, I think a lot of people feel that Joe Biden failed America.
Present their own plan. So this is essentially holding them to the fire for Celsius's exclusivity. If they extend exclusivity, then it's like, well, why did you spend 300 grand on a plan? Next, really quick, we have a pro se creditor, John, essentially saying, hey, Judge, we need to get some clarity on retail clawbacks because there are people who withdrew here life savings or monies already spent on ordinary goods, and he just wants more clarity for people because there's a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty going around when it comes to retail clawbacks. Next, we have the partner, Michael Steele at KlLLED buying a $38 million frickin' mansion in Malibu. Well, I don't have to say anything more about that. And next, I want to mention that there are some phishing scams happening where people are getting fraudulent emails and they are pretending to be Stretto or Celsius. And what Celsius says here is that these emails are not authorized messages and are strongly suspected to be phishing scams aimed at inducing payments of fraudulent fees, obtaining personal identifiable information, account information of customers, and stealing financial assets. So really quick, just want to show you what some of these emails will look like. If you get anything that looks like this, know that it is a scam and nobody should be asking for your money, any information from you, personal information, crypto information, nothing. All right, guys, so that is it for the video. As of now, we are waiting for any...
Celsius are like the sharks that just rip us up, and then they're like the little thickened piranha that come in after and just eat all the scraps. You know, fuck those motherfuckers. I wonder if there's a link here below. So I wonder if he says where you can go to click on this.
News, but again, it is way too soon in order to create FUD around this. Next, taking a look at this sheet. Now, this shows all of the Celsius creditors, how much their claims are worth, and then how many people fall into these categories. And this...
Celsius claims, creditors. Okay, maybe this one? No, maybe this one. I don't know where he got that information. I don't know where he got those Celsius claim. I don't know where he got that. There's a lot of links right here. I'm just going through them to see if one matches up.
Sean the Secret Orca.
Hey, Sean.
Nay is the guru of trendiness and the boss man of Nay's garden.
Thank you. Wow. Well, he just says this paper, right?
This has to do with that convenience class that Celsius.
Wait.
I'm going to talk about this new asset share token that may be coming out and how many creditors are in different categories of claims. I'm going to talk about a conflict of...
Where did you find that at? You son of a gun, you. Where did you find that information at? He starts talking about it right here.
Next, taking a look at...
Is it this creditor list? I may have just found it. Oh, I found it. It is listed there. Okay, I got it. All right, man. I should be on this list. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Now, it doesn't say which ones are within the range of being excluded or not, but I'm going to fall in this list right here. And I'm not there. That's weird. Okay, so maybe they put me on this list. There's a lot of Bretts. And Brandons. Let's go, Brandon. Bjorn. I should be on this list because they're taking it from the day of, not today. And the day of, it would be, here, I'm going to be right here. It would be under 100,000. It should be 90 something. It should be the very next name. There I am. I can't get it to fall. It won't fall right on my name. It's really weird. I think I can make this work though. Here, wait, let's try this again. There I am. I'm at the very top. There I am. $92,125.77. Can you click on it? Ooh, you can. I don't know how much information it'll bring up, so let me hide this. Let me just see what it brings up when you click on my name. Oh, it just brings up my name. Okay. So it says how much, the 3.10. I don't get that. 3.10. But that's all the information that's on that page. And that is a public page. It's for everyone who wants to see that. We could see what it says for Lark Davis. We could see what it says for that guy. I'm wondering what it says for him. What's his name? Yeah, man, that information will be on here. Aaron Bennett. Yeah, let's check that. It might be Aaron C. Bennett, but you know, I'm assuming he's going to be between $5,000 and $1,000 in there. So let's just see if I can find him. It's double A's, right? Yeah, double A's. Okay, AAR. Aaron. Make sure it's not Aaron C. Aaron. Everyone's got a 3.1. Okay, it's like some kind of a customer number or something. Aaron. He's not. Oh, wait, but let's look up Aaron C. Bennett. Maybe it'll be listed that way. No. No. It might be another one, but okay, let's see. Maybe he's over $1,000 in there. Let's see. Let's check this other list. Aaron. There's no Aaron Bennett here. Dude, there's no way. Come on. What? Dude, it says he has over $10,000 in there? Let's see. Aaron Bennett. Oh my God, dude, he's got more than $10,000 in there. Wow. Aaron Bennett has 13. He's got 2 accounts, bro. One says 13,148. The other one says 10,850. And those might be 2 different people. I would think those are 2 different people because the schedule numbers are different. It's just 2 people with the same name. So he's either got 10,850 or 13,148. Okay. All right. It's not like my 90 whatever the fuck it was, but $92,125.77. So hopefully I fall into this, we'll get crypto back instead of cash. I don't know. I was hoping I was above that 100,000. Nope. Nope. I am among a group of 63,670 people, and Aaron Bennett is in my group. That's crazy. Thank you for indulging me, people. I do appreciate that, allowing me to spend your time so I could watch something that interests me because I've got money locked up in it, Okay. So, thanks for watching. You guys are great. I love you all. Thanks for spending time with me. And I will be back later today for another show. In the meantime, I am at Nay's Garden on Twitter, and you can find me there. All right. Bye, everybody. # keep it open.